Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that everything you believe is essential to your happiness is actually holding you back. What if I told you that the secret to a more fulfilling life is not in adding things to it, but in quietly letting go of the weights that drag you down? This is not a simple thought experiment. This is a reality for many who have discovered that less can be more. Today, we dive into the art of letting go, clearing away the noise and disorder that cloud our minds and our lives. We will explore not only the act of liberation, but also its profound impact on our well-being, our relationships, and our journey toward a life that truly fits us. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stuck, or simply curious about what lies behind this never-ending quest for more, you've come to the right place. Stay with me, and let's discover the unsuspected freedom that comes with the choice to let go. First, demonstrate emotional resilience in the face of suffering. When someone hurts us, our instinct may be to retaliate, to drown in explanations, or to seek some form of justice by forcing them to understand the seriousness of their wrong. But Stoicism invites us to question this impulse. It asks, am I in control? If the answer is no, it guides us back to what we can control: our thoughts, our emotions, and our subsequent actions. Imagine someone has wronged you, and you feel that familiar bubbling of anger and pain. In that moment, you have a choice. You can confront the person armed with your grievances, or you can pause, breathe, and ask yourself, will this bring me peace? Is this really worth my energy? Stoicism teaches us that, often, the answer is no. This doesn't mean what was done to you is acceptable. It means you choose not to let it dictate your emotional state. You choose tranquility over turmoil, personal fulfillment over resentment. It is not a matter of passivity. It is a matter of power. Seeking explanations or confrontations rarely changes the past, but it can profoundly influence your present peace and your future development. By focusing on your own path, you embody the Stoic virtue of emotional resilience. This resilience is not cold detachment. It is a warm recognition of your ability to overcome life's trials with grace. It is the understanding that your worth and your peace do not depend on the actions or opinions of others, but on your own reasoned choices. Thus, in the face of suffering, Stoicism asks one question that changes everything: what is within my power? We cannot control others, but we can control our reaction, our mindset, and the direction we choose. This shift in perspective not only frees us from unnecessary stress, it also gives our lives meaning, because our energy is invested in what truly matters: our growth, our inner peace, and our journey toward the best version of ourselves. By adopting Stoicism, we draw our strength from tranquility, and we express our power through rational action. We learn that the deepest victories are not won in the heat of an external battle, but in the calm of a disciplined mind. Let us continue this wisdom by choosing paths that lead us to serenity, fulfillment, and a deeper understanding of what it means to live well. Second, align your goals with your true nature. Letting go of superfluous goals does not mean lowering your ambitions or ceasing to strive for excellence. Far from it. It means refining your ambition, sharpening it with the steady stone of wisdom, so you pursue not just any goal, but the right goals, the ones that truly matter to you. It is about aligning your aspirations with your deepest values and ensuring that your actions reflect the essence of who you really are. This idea of living in harmony with nature is at the heart of Stoicism. Here, nature is not merely the physical world around us. It is also our inner nature, the core of our being. When we align our goals with that inner nature, we find a harmony that is both rare and profound. It feels like placing the final piece of a puzzle. Suddenly, what once felt forced begins to fit. Discernment is essential here. It requires time, honesty, and the willingness to ask difficult questions. Is this goal truly mine, or did I adopt it from someone else? Does this pursuit allow me to become more of myself, Or does it pull me away from my true self? These questions are not always comfortable, but they are necessary for growth and authenticity. When we focus on what truly enriches our lives, we practice the Stoic virtue of wisdom, not wisdom as information, but wisdom as practical judgment. The Greeks called this practical wisdom phronesis. It is the kind of wisdom that helps us navigate life, make better decisions, and ultimately live in a way that brings us closer to eudaimonia, human flourishing. Embracing this virtue means making choices that are not merely outwardly impressive, but deeply good for our soul, our character, and our inner peace. It means building a rich life, not with possessions or status, but with meaning, purpose, and joy. In summary, releasing unnecessary goals makes room for what truly matters. It is a process of cleansing externally and internally that reveals a path leading not only to conventional success, but to a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. It is a journey back to yourself, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. And it is a journey worth taking. So as we continue to navigate the waters of life, let's choose our goals wisely, align them with our true nature, and walk the path that leads to real fulfillment. So as we continue to navigate the waters of life, let's choose our goals wisely, align them with our true nature, and walk the path that leads to real fulfillment. Third, approach relationship endings with Stoic wisdom. Stoicism, at its core, teaches us the importance of mastering our impulses, a lesson that becomes especially relevant in the emotional upheaval of a breakup or separation. When something ends, it is natural to want to vent, to seek comfort by telling the story again and again, or to expose what happened in a way that feels like justice. Yet Stoicism asks a quieter question: will this protect my peace, or will it prolong my pain? Stoicism does not advocate repressing emotions or facing hardship alone. On the contrary, it recognizes the value of honest expression and the healing that comes from acknowledging what we feel. But it also distinguishes between sharing that promotes healing and indulgence that fuels regret, bitterness, or needless drama. The goal is a balance where we honor our emotions and the lessons of the relationship without sliding into gossip or unnecessary revelations. Stoicism also teaches the virtue of discretion, a virtue that protects not only our dignity, but also the dignity of others. After a relationship ends, it is easy to forget that there were shared moments of vulnerability and trust, moments that deserve respect even in separation. By choosing discretion, we practice respect and compassion, qualities deeply valued in Stoic thought. This approach also reflects another central Stoic principle: the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. We cannot always control the actions of others or the outcome of situations, but we can control our response. When we choose dignity, restraint, and the protection of our inner peace, we focus on what is ours to govern. In doing so, we embody the Stoic ideal of directing our attention to our own actions and attitudes. This guidance helps us move through endings with more grace, and it contributes to growth. It allows us to emerge from painful experiences not with bitterness, but with wisdom, not with resentment, but with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the values we hold dear. Stoicism teaches that even in loss, there is an opportunity to practice the virtues that strengthen our character. Fourth, transform conflict through Stoic principles. Stoicism offers a perspective that changes everything. Instead of being swept away by the first wave of anger or frustration that disagreements often bring, we are encouraged to meet those emotions with curiosity and self-command. It is a shift from reaction to response. Think of the energy that floods you in moments of conflict. Stoicism does not ask you to deny it. It asks you to redirect it, as you might redirect a river. That same energy can become fuel for something constructive, for personal projects, for self-improvement, or for cultivating patience and understanding. Recall the last disagreement you had. The instinctive reaction is often to resist with equal force, letting anger dictate tone and words. But Stoicism invites you to pause and ask whether that approach is useful. In that pause, in that breath between impulse and action, we find our power, the power to choose. And that choice creates the possibility of transforming destructive energy into something that builds and strengthens. This does not mean we become passive or that our emotions are invalid. Stoicism recognizes all emotions as part of being human. It simply advocates understanding them, questioning their origins and their purpose, and deciding how to use them wisely. In practicing this, we preserve composure and integrity. We stand firm, not as impassive statues, but as people who have learned inner balance, a balance not easily shattered by external circumstances. We learn to see disagreements not as threats, but as opportunities to demonstrate patience, empathy, and perhaps to learn something new about ourselves or others. Over time, this approach enriches our relationships because we begin to enter conflict with a mindset oriented toward resolution rather than conquest. We become architects of bridges, not builders of walls. Fifth, avoid the traps of gossip and judgment. Now we turn to a trap that is easy to fall into, yet deeply opposed to the peace and harmony we seek. Stoicism, as a steady guide through the turbulence of human life, offers a perspective that elevates our character and improves the quality of our relationships and communities. Consider gossip for a moment. It can feel like a quick thrill, a way to bond through shared disapproval or curiosity. But what does it truly give us? Stoicism urges us to reflect on the superficiality of such exchanges. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor and philosopher, repeatedly encouraged a focus on our own actions and the good within us, rather than becoming absorbed in the faults of others. Gossip pulls us away from that constructive focus. It becomes a diversion from self-improvement into negativity, draining our energy and narrowing our mind. Negative judgment works in a similar way. It places us in a posture of superiority, as if we were appointed the judge of the world. Yet Stoicism teaches humility and the recognition that we, too, are fallible and that human behavior is complex. Refraining from judgment does not mean excusing wrongdoing. It means approaching people and situations with a mindset oriented toward understanding and growth, and when possible, support rather than condemnation. Every moment we choose restraint over gossip strengthens our character and sets a standard for those around us. This is not passive. It is active integrity. It is choosing to build, not to tear down. In Stoicism, every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice virtue, to leave someone better than we found them, and to contribute to a community where judgment is replaced by understanding and where gossip is replaced by meaningful support. Comparing ourselves to others is almost a reflex built into our social fabric. Yet Stoicism teaches that it is a path filled with traps. Every moment spent measuring our life against someone else's is a moment taken away from our own progress. Seneca warned against being distracted by the noise of other people's lives because it pulls us away from our inner path. Stoicism does not merely diagnose the problem. It offers a remedy. Focus on your own progress and your own virtues. Shift from external validation to internal fulfillment. Recognize that the only journey you can truly control is your own. The most meaningful benchmarks are the ones you set based on your values, your aims, and your character. Gratitude is a powerful Stoic practice here. Gratitude anchors us in the present. It helps us recognize the richness that already exists in our life, rather than longing for someone else's. It is the ability to appreciate our strengths, our victories, and even our struggles, because they shape us into who we are becoming. Living in harmony with Stoic teaching means honoring your individual path, not isolating yourself, but becoming more centered. This is also how Stoicism strengthens community. When we are not trapped in constant comparison, we can genuinely celebrate others and support them. Our perspective shifts from competition to collaboration, from envy to empathy. In essence, Stoicism offers freedom from the chains of comparison and invites us to cultivate a life measured not by the world's yardstick, but by the quiet progress we make each day. Seventh, seek inner approval in the digital age. In our modern world, where the digital landscape often blurs the line between reality and perception, Stoic teachings about inner approval become more relevant than ever. Social media, with its endless stream of curated lives, can push us toward comparison and the constant hunger for external validation. Yet the Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, guide us through this labyrinth by reminding us that our self-worth must rest on something more stable than shifting public opinion. Imagine, for a moment, Stoic philosophers scrolling through a news feed. It's a curious image. They would likely recognize the usefulness of digital platforms for learning and connection. But they would also see the danger, the subtle thirst for likes, shares, and approval as proof of value. Stoicism reminds us that the only approval that truly nourishes the soul is the one we earn within ourselves. When we live in alignment with our values, act with integrity, and honor our authenticity. This principle invites us to reconsider how we use digital spaces. Are we consuming content that enriches our life, or are we caught in a whirlpool of envy and comparison? When we ask these questions, we begin to recalibrate our relationship with technology. Limiting digital distractions is not rejecting modern life. It is choosing to engage with it more deliberately. It is using our time to cultivate real relationships, pursue meaningful work, and participate in activities that reflect our deepest values. This does not require abandoning social media. It requires intention. When we return to real conversations, real laughter, and real presence, we rediscover the depth of human connection. We learn again that joy and fulfillment do not depend on a screen. The Stoics teach that our power lies not in external validation, but in our inner state, in the priorities we choose, the values we honor, and the actions we take. Applied to the digital age, this wisdom becomes a tool for living with clarity, purpose, and self-respect. Eighth, reflect on Stoic wisdom for modern life. As we conclude, take a moment to reflect on how teachings from centuries ago can still bring clarity to our modern chaos. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue, resilience, and inner control, is not merely a philosophy to admire. It is a practical toolbox, a companion for life as we actually live it. Think about the spaces in your life that are cluttered with what no longer serves you: habits, thoughts, relationships, and even digital interactions that drain rather than enrich. Stoicism does not merely point them out. It offers tools to address them. It teaches discernment, emotional resilience, and the peace that comes from living in alignment with our deepest values. As you move forward, carry these teachings not as abstract ideas, but as practical guidance. Whether you are navigating difficult relationships, trying to preserve integrity under pressure, or simply seeking a deeper sense of fulfillment, Stoicism offers perspectives that can illuminate your path. It reminds us that while we cannot control the world around us, we hold immense power over our inner landscape. And it is in that inner world that true growth and fulfillment begin. By focusing on our own progress, practicing gratitude for our journey, and engaging with others in ways that reflect our values, we cultivate a life filled with meaning and joy. Stoicism also reminds us of community, of mutual support, and of the fact that while your journey is uniquely yours, it is also part of a larger human story. When we share wisely, show empathy, and encourage growth, we don't just improve our own lives, we contribute to the well-being of those around us. And now, if you're ready to go deeper into the transformative power of Stoicism, I invite you to explore the playlist on the screen. You'll find more stories, ideas, and practical guidance to help you build a life that is calmer, stronger, and more meaningful. Click on the playlist, continue the journey, and remember this: the freedom you're looking for is not found by adding more, but by letting go of what no longer serves you.